Thanksgiving, football, food, family. Let's take a look at a couple of different and great ways to do a turkey on the grill. Whether it's a charcoal grill like our Broil King keg or on the rotisserie on our Broil King Sovereign XL90. It's really easy to do and you're going to get an awesome result. Let's get into it. Now you might notice we have two different turkeys here. One's a stunt turkey, the other is just an actor, as it were. One I'm going to do on the charcoal grill, one on the gas grill on the rotisserie. So it's two different ways to get to the same result. The preparation for the turkey before we put it on the grill doesn't particularly change. Once it's on the grill, that's where the technique changes a little bit. I'm not going to do anything crazy with these turkeys. If you have family recipes, seasonings, secret rubs, anything like that that you want to use, go right ahead. Take your pick. Both of these turkeys that we have are between 13 and 14 pounds. Good size for feeding 8 to 10 people, depending on your appetite. It could be as low as 6. I don't know. What I've done already that you guys don't necessarily need to see is I've removed the neck, the giblets, and so on from the turkey. These guys are clean. So we're just going to quickly pat the birds dry. It helps with the adhesion of your seasoning, gives you crispier skin as well. So let's get our hands dirty. Here's a basic poultry rub. You can expand on this however you want. I have ground black pepper, some fine sea salt. You can use regular table salt here too, nothing crazy. Ground sage, don't get crazy with this, it's strong stuff. Oregano, thyme, and rosemary. Classic poultry seasoning, nothing wild here. Just gonna mix these all together to get a nice ratio. I usually add the salt last. You don't want to overdo it with salt. You can always add more later. So that's a good technique to remember. And remember, I'm doing 2 birds, so this could be more than you would want. Use all this rosemary. Add about half the salt. See how it comes together. Maybe more than that will be required. We'll see. Go. Got a nice mix there. Now this is going to be a little bit odd because some of the herbs are so light and the pepper and the salt tend to be a little bit heavier. So you want to keep it moving, keep a bit of a swirl there so you get a nice mix to it, right? That's an easy poultry rub. You can use that for turkey, chicken, so on. And again, you can expand on it too. I'm just going to make a quick compound butter to actually put under the skin of the turkey. And then we're going to rub the outside of the turkey with butter as well. It gives you awesome crisp skin. And often a problem with turkey is that you dry out the breast meat before the legs are done. So what this does, you're adding fat into the breast meat on the turkey. It keeps it nice and moist and nice and flavorful as you cook it, so you get a better result. So we talked about the compound butter. What I'm going to do now is add in about 1/3, maybe 1/4 of our seasoning into this softened butter. Don't microwave your butter to soften it, just a bowl of warm water also helps too. You want it nice and soft, you don't want it liquid and melted and gross. So, pay attention. It's easy enough, but it makes a difference. So we've got our seasoning there. I'm just going to mix this up. And this is what we're putting under the skin. It's not necessarily what I'm seasoning the outside of the bird with. You could do it all in one shot if you want, or you can control the amount of seasoning that you're putting on the bird versus this that's going to go inside the bird. So there's lots of variables here. Again, not rocket science. Have some fun with it. Mix it up. One of the challenges with poultry is that it's difficult to season through the skin. So what you have to do is actually open up the membrane between the breast meat and the skin, and we're going to season in between there. This isn't glamorous work, people, but it makes a big difference, trust me. So, there we go. You have to do this on both sides. There's quite a strong membrane that runs right down the breastbone when you're trying to do this. So open up both sides, you'll get a better result doing it. So. And it's one side, now we go to the other. Oh, there we go. So there we go, that's an easy way to get your turkey set up for seasoning. Let's get the compound butter in there. And again, it's not glamorous. I'm just going to grab a glob of butter and smear it into that space. So here we go. So we've got the compound butter under the skin. You can actually see it happening under here. You want a nice distribution. It's not the easiest thing in the world to get a good distribution there, but you can move it around from the outside too, and you can see how that works out. So That's a pretty easy way to prepare your turkey. Now we'll season the outside with some butter and then add the rub over top of that. So again, not rocket science here. It's an easy technique and it makes your life a lot easier when you're doing a turkey on the grill. Once you have the butter inside the turkey, then you can butter the outside of it. We'll add the seasoning after that. You can do a compound butter and do the whole thing. What I like about this is that you're controlling how much seasoning you get on there. The compound butter that I have here has quite a bit of seasoning in it. Maybe you don't want that much on the outside of the bird. So you can do it a couple of different ways. I'm not going to tell you what to do, but it's worth a shot. Here we go. Butter, and we'll just massage that in. Gives you a nice crispy skin when you're done. You're going to love the stuff. At this point, we have a nice coating of butter on the outside of our bird. I'm going to give it a good seasoning with our barbecue rub, and then we can get it right on the grill. The seasoning's a big part of your presentation. It gives you a nice, crispy, golden skin too, right? I've done turkeys both ways, with stuffing, without. I find you get a better result on the turkey, a more consistent cook without the stuffing inside it. Because what happens when it's empty, you have airflow through the turkey, so it's cooking from inside and out. You get a nice, consistent cook. With the stuffing inside, you're really trying to cook the entire thing from the outside in, and if you're not careful, your stuffing will be underdone. So the problem there, if your stuffing's underdone, aside from flavor, could be concerns along the lines of E. coli, salmonella, things like that. You don't want to live there. You don't want to get into that territory, so be careful. You can make stuffing on the side with giblets and liver and so on in there to get that great turkey flavor that you're used to in your stuffing. Better result both ways. Another way you can infuse flavor into your turkey, aside from the rub that we've used both under the skin and on the skin, is with something like this, a fresh herb bundle. I've made this up with rosemary, thyme, and oregano. And I'm going to, in the charcoal grill, I'm actually going to hang this below the cooking grid. As that heats, you get that essence of these herbs into the turkey, into the smoke as it's happening in the charcoal grill. Great way to do it. You can do that on a gas grill too. You'd want to use wood chips or something for a nice fuel source. So it's worth a shot. Give it a try, guys. One last thing before we take the bird outside. I have a container of coarse sea salt here. This is a bit of a vanity project. I already have salt in the rub, nice fine sea salt. I'm gonna add some coarse sea salt on there. It's a presentation thing. The coarse sea salt, people see it and think, man, that's gonna create such great flavor. You already have salt in the rub. You've already got this great turkey. The salt is, you don't want to be over the top with it. In a lot of ways, adding coarse salt at this point is window dressing. Okay, we have our bird ready to go. I have my fresh herb bundle. Let's take it to the grill. So we've got our turkey ready to go. The fresh herb bundle's on. The keg is about 350. Here we go.